All right, Kerry, we led the show. Former Jet Sam Darnold, coached by one of your former teammates, Kevin O'Connell.
That's right.
The $1 million question. The Jets do not have a head coach right now unless you believe the interim's coming back, which I think he's like 0-19. Somehow he's lost like 19 games this year, and they've only played 16.
Yeah, he lost them all for sure.
I don't think he's at the top of the list. But somebody that might be, your former coach, Rex Ryan, reportedly will be interviewing for the Jets head coaching job. And I figure there is literally no one better to ask than your thoughts on one, I want to talk about the state of the Jets, and we'll get to that in a minute. But just big picture, Rex Ryan, this era, does it make sense? And then I think conversely, well, let's start with this.
Yeah.
Woody Johnson calls you. You're on your way home from the show. You're driving around. Woody Johnson calls you and says, Kerry, tell me about your experience with Rex. It's a new world. It's 2025. It's a different league than it was 15 years ago when he went to back-to-back AFC championship games. But is he the guy to get us out of this funk that we've been in, frankly, since he left?
Ooh, that is a hard question, and it's a layer. It would be a layered response.
That's a no, Danny G. That's a no, Danny G.
No, it's a hard question, and it's a layered response, and it's because
his sweater just blinked the word no.
If the sweater blinks twice, that's a no.
Exactly.
We know how this goes.
You know what's crazy? If Rex was with this iteration of this Jets team,
like this one right now.
Do I think they would have been in the playoff hunt? I do.
Okay. Why is that?
I do. This team has a lot of players, a lot of name players, right? And so there's to temper expectations along with elevating expectations at the same time, as far as being motivated to play and do the right things on a continued day in and day out environment. If that was a setup for this team and Rex, I think he would play in and fit in perfectly. Because this team has the talent. And in my time there, we had the talent as well.
Really quickly, let me reset. You guys had a ton of big names. I mean, Mark Sanchez, Braylon Edwards, Bart Scott, right?
Myself,
Nick Mangold.
Nick Mangold, DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Vet guys.
Sean Ellis.
Yeah, a lot like this team. Big names.
A lot like this team. Darrell Revis. You left out the number one guy.
Revis Island, baby. Okay.
So, yes, a lot of talent. And this team reminds me of that team as far as the talent goes.
Okay.
But they didn't play hard, and they didn't play smart.
Nope.
He would definitely he would fix that issue. The issue with Rex, and the reason I don't think he is a quote-unquote head coach, is just because of the time management, all the things that go into being a successful head coach. Time management, being able to devise the blueprint for a game plan on both sides of the ball, right? Like if he went into this situation, in my mind, if he was the defensive coordinator for this team would have the number one defense, number one, and it wouldn't even be close. And so that would have given this team a lot more opportunities to have the ball and be successful. This defense here has all the names, and I think they'll still probably end up ranked in the top 10 or something because stats or whatever. But if you watch that defense, they aren't motivated, they don't play well, and they don't get big stops either. And so head coach, I would be like no, because I don't think he is the best head coach as far as managing everything. But as far as getting those guys to play and be ready to play, this year's team, it would have been a perfect fit. But I think it's a little bit outdated with that hire situation in my mind.
Then let me ask you this. Obviously, last week Aaron Rodgers had the quotes about, hey, what is your future? You got to ask Woody. And then he, of course, had the comment about, I've never been cut by a teenager before, a reference to all the Madden stuff with the kids. Yeah. If it is Rex Ryan, and he's interviewing, and I don't think they'd give him an interview if he wasn't at least a semi-candidate, is that the end of the Aaron? By the way, it's not just necessarily would Rex want Aaron, but obviously Aaron doesn't necessarily have to come back either. Do you believe that relationship could work, or are you starting over with a new quarterback?
I think that relationship would work. And the style of football that Rex brings to the table is one that would be quarterback friendly.
Okay.
They like to run the ball. Defense, They call it the ground and pound when I was there. That was his MO. Obviously, we had a rookie quarterback. So now we have the Jets have an aging quarterback, so it's still that type of vibe. You got two running backs that are really good there, Braylon Allen, and you have Breece Hall. Yep. It would be ground and pound, and he would put so much emphasis on that defense. They would be in the playoff hunt, and I will give Rex that for sure. If he was there, like I said, with this team and Aaron being back, they would be in the playoff hunt. Now, does he get them over the top, and does he give them the best possible situation to win long term, and this to be something that can carry over for the next 5 years, winning? I don't think so, and that's my problem with it.
Well, and I think that's where it gets interesting is that, there's been reports that Woody Johnson wants to reset, start over, whatever. But I also, you
That's
look,
crazy, though, Aaron. Sorry
that's
to
what I'm
cut you off.
saying, yeah.
You have the players to win now.
I
What
know.
are you resetting for?
I agree.
And we've seen it. Minnesota didn't make the playoffs last year. They're 4-2 in a year.
Well, here's the other thing. The division, listen, Josh Allen speaks for himself.
Yeah.
Bills speak for themselves. Tua, at this point, I just don't think we can expect him to play 17 games.
Yeah.
And so what is that team with Skylar Thompson or whoever's the backup quarterback? And then the Patriots, who we might talk about before the end of the show, they seem to be a mess as well.
Yeah.
So, one of my big whiffs in the preseason was I had the Jets making the playoffs solely because I was like, and this is no disrespect, and I wasn't wishing it. I was like, I don't think Tua's going to stay healthy for a full season again. The Patriots are a mess. So that's what's interesting to me is like you said, is I don't think that they're that far off. What I do think is obvious is obviously Aaron has kind of hijacked that whole situation, and the Devontae Adams thing is weird. Like I heard some story today about if Aaron comes back, Garrett Wilson doesn't want to be back, and so I don't know, but I don't know. Like I'm with you, is I think you have this weird window where, first of all, no matter what quarterback you're getting next year. I don't think you can say they're going to be better than Aaron will be. Aaron has not been great by any stretch.
No, yeah.
But he had kind of a 6-7 week period where he was playing better towards the back half as he got more comfortable as Devontae Adams came in. But, think about the quarterbacks that are going to be available. Kirk Cousins, another old guy off an Achilles.
Yeah.
The two quarterbacks in the draft we'll talk about in a minute, Shador and Cam Ward, I don't think are I don't think they're Jaden Daniels that is plug and play and instantly go from 4 wins to 11. I don't know. I understand why you would want to cut ties with Aaron Rodgers. I get it. It has been a weird year, and I think he is a lot to do with it. I think he's a ton to do with it. Yeah. But I'm with you I think you have this weird window where you have a lot of talent on your roster. I don't know why you wouldn't want to run it back one more year, but maybe I'm crazy.
And we talk about that. Even if you bring Aaron on 1-year deal, he's not gonna demand a lot of money right now. You bring him back I don't know if he's on the contract. Is he?
I think it was a 2-year deal.
Okay.
So I think he's free agent.
He's free. Yeah. You can sign him back for really low money, very team-friendly money, and you still have Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor can win you games. And I know people don't. It's not a sexy name. It's not something that people would be like, oh, we got Tyrod. He can win you games. Yeah. And then you got a young quarterback that you're developing that nobody's speaking about, which is Jordan Travis. So you already have him on your roster. Quarterback position is fine. It's so much more wrong with that team. Aaron Rodgers' numbers, if you look at the numbers, I know numbers can lie. He's been a decent quarterback. Yeah. He hasn't been a terrible quarterback this year. So if you can do that and incorporate actually running the ball, and our identity is going to be running the ball and playing defense, under Rex Ryan, if that was the situation, they could definitely win games. And that's what I'm looking at. That would be the thing.
So I think you opened this segment by saying, I don't think Rex would be the perfect fit.
That's right.
But I think you just talked yourself into it.
No, just with this current iteration of the team.
Okay.
But it seems like that's not going to be the team.
Yeah.
If your owner's coming out saying we want a fresh start, which is asinine to me.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either.
And I don't think Rex Ryan puts him in a position to be successful for 5-10 years, and he's going to be your coach for a decade. I just don't see it.
It's crazy. The last thing we'll get to Isaac, and then we'll do some other stuff. But it's funny because people think that it's the worst idea in the world, or you can't go back or whatever.
Yeah.
The last coach to take the Jets to the playoffs was Rex Ryan, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds terrible. And if this was, the the Green Bay Packers opened up, you're not going to hire Rex Ryan. But it's the Jets, and they've been terrible. Right. And he has won there. And I don't know. I have no skin in the game, but I don't think you're not getting Ben Johnson, because Ben Johnson's going to go wherever there's a quarterback, so that's Chicago or somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't think Mike Vrabel's going there, because Mike Vrabel's going to pretty much have any option that he wants as well. So it's then you're just talking about more coordinators, more retreads anyway. So it's why not bring in the retread who knows the organization, knows the city, all that. Go ahead.
And wants to do it.
And wants to do it. Yeah. I think there's something to that.
I mean, he's been passionate about doing it and like openly campaigning for it, which is crazy.
Yes. All right. So Rex Ryan is in fact interviewing for the New York Jets job, and we'll see. We'll see if he gets it. You know, I think Kerry Rhodes would be the most popular radio guest at Fox Sports Radio if he gets that job.
Oh, I'd be happy. I'd be happy for him. I mean, that's a great job, a great situation, and it also shows other people that if you want something, speak about it.
Don't be afraid to tell people what you want.
Exactly.